Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 28 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system, the human body, is a healing system. It's a regenerating system and is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing and renewing and regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, if you want to get off your meds or help a loved one get off their meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we want to help you. Our number today on The Bright Side, every day on The Bright Side, is 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. Try to get on board early so we can get as many calls as possible. We'll get your calls here in our second segment, 844-236-6010. If you want to join the Bright Side Ben team, please call the phone team at 866-735-2470, or you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com, and sign up directly right off the website for a one-time $10 fee. You can start yourself a longevity business, earn thank you checks, and help spread the word about the power and the importance of a good nutritional supplement program. You can also get your products at the wholesale price if you so desire and make a little money while you're doing it. Click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, or you can head to my blog, pharmacistben.com, or now criticalhealthnews.com, and sign up right from the website. Of course, you can purchase any of the longevity products right off the website as well, or by calling the phone team, 866-735-2470. 866-735-2470. All right. We're talking ketogenic diet. Yesterday we took a call at the end of the program. I want to touch on this a little bit. It kind of relates to the ketogenic diet. We took a call from Steve in Virginia about cancer. I had to rush through. We had a guest on. I hate rushing through phone calls, but I wanted to cover a couple of things I didn't get to say. We're talking about the ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet is a weight loss diet. It's a youth-promoting diet. It's been used to treat seizures for millennia, since the days of Hippocrates in 400 BC. We've known about the ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet is a calming down the body diet. It's associated with fasting. It's associated with caloric restriction, and it is anti-cancer. The ketogenic diet calms the body down. That's how it works with epilepsy. That's how it works for anti-aging. That's how it works for improving mood and improving thinking behavior. And that's how it works for improving cancer, the symptoms of cancer, or minimizing the likelihood of getting cancer. And at the end of the day, the ketogenic diet is a caloric restriction diet. It's restricting your calories. It's going for fats, going for carbohydrate, or going for protein, and keeping your carbs down, and using vegetable carbs. It's a calming the body down diet. And this is the whole key. It's the calming. Calming the body down is anti-aging. Calming the body down induces weight loss. Calming the body down encourages youth-promoting chemistry. Calming the body down is anti-cancer. Calming the body down supports the immune system. That's it. Calming the body down. Calming the body down is the most powerful healing strategy we can use. And conversely, when the body is freaked out, that's when disease shows up. Disease is a freaked out body. And everything your doctor does whether it's prescription drugs or destroying the body with electricity, they call that ablation, or carving the body up like a Christmas turkey, all of those just amplify stress. The medical model's strategies for so-called health and healing just put more burden on the body. Calming the body down is not only the strategy for dealing with cancer, it's the strategy for all health issues, which at the end of the day are the result of a body in distress. And the medical model's MO of poisoning the body with drugs or removing organs or ablating it with electrical energy or anything else put more burden on an already stressed out body. The job of nutrition and the job of strategies, the dietary strategies we talk about here on this program every day, the job of oxygenation and detoxification, which is largely eating less food or perhaps using clay or algae, the job of all of these functions is to calm the body down. And this is the approach we want to take no matter what our health challenges are. Calming the body down. Do you need a doctor to calm the body down? No. Do you need an insurance company to calm the body down? No. Do you need Obamacare or a government or anything that's a part of the established medical model to calm the body down? No. I talked to a guy yesterday on the radio, on another radio program. I was doing an interview and they had call-ins, people calling in. So this guy has ulcerative colitis. Ulcerative colitis is doctor talk for a messed up intestine, ulcer and colon. They got ulcers in the colon. So this guy, young guy, he's 28 years old. He's on prednisone and mesalamine. These are two anti-inflammatory drugs, horrible drugs, especially prednisone. He wanted to get off of them. So we talked on the air. I walked him through the process like I do every day on this program. I asked him how he felt when he didn't eat. He said he felt better when he didn't eat. Well, of course he's going to feel better when he doesn't eat. He's got a colon problem, so if you don't put anything in the colon, you're going to feel better. And this is a smart guy. I talked to him I could tell the guy wasn't a dummy. He was intelligent, but he never made the connection between food and his digestive problems. He didn't make the connection. He didn't realize that when he stopped eating, he felt better, and he didn't make the connection. He didn't realize that eating food, I feel worse. Not eating food, I feel better. And for some reason, the connection eluded him so completely between food and his digestive problems that he was willing to go to the doctor, go outside his body, go to someone else to tell him what to do. The connection between food and his digestive problems had eluded him so completely that he was willing to poison his immune system, his defensive system, to shut it down while he continued to saturate his body with the foods that were causing the problems. And he knew all the time that when he stopped eating, he felt better. He told me on the air. He said, I feel better when I stopped eating. But he didn't make the connection. And it's this kind of disconnect that we are encouraged to operate under by the medical model that profits on our ignorance. I'm not blaming the doctors necessarily, although they have to accept some responsibility here for perpetuating this idea. It's the model that doesn't care about us as individuals. And the medical professionals who are participating in this model have responsibility here as well. Not saying they're bad people necessarily, but they have to own up to their responsibility for perpetuating this idea that we can somehow drug and poison and cut the body up and be better for it. Disease is nothing more than the end result of a body that is freaked out. Calm the body down, you will always feel better. Does anybody ever say, oh, I calmed my body down, I sat on the couch and did deep breathing and I took hot tubs and I got massages and now I feel like crap. I feel awful. Oh my God. Does anybody ever say that? Of course not. Because when you calm the body down, you're going to feel better. So how do you calm the body down? With nutrition, with the Mighty 90, by breathing, and by giving the body as little work to do as possible. And where is most of the resources, most of the energy resources that the body has spent? On digesting food and on processing food. So when you stop eating, or at least restrict your calories, you're going to feel better. Guaranteed. And speaking of giving the body as little work to do as possible, this is where the ketogenic diet comes in. Study after study after study, not for decades, not for centuries, for millennia, for thousands of years have shown that the ketogenic diet improves epilepsy, improves seizures, improves inflammation, improves degenerative diseases of all kinds. The ketogenic diet is a protein diet, a fat diet, and a restricted carbohydrate diet, a vegetable carbohydrate diet. We'll continue when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
Hi, Coast to Coast listeners. I'm Kay Zwirling from KSCO Radio in Santa Cruz. I'm 93 years old, and I'm a big fan of George Norrie because his topics and guests are fascinating and really get you thinking. George is just as bothered as I am by all the advertising you hear for toxic prescription drugs that make you sicker, not healthy. I prefer to give my body all 90 essential nutrients it needs for life to prevent disease, not compound it. My favorite complete supplement is Beyond Tangy Tangerine from Longevity, which I take every day along with EFA Plus and Beyond OsteoFX, which together are called the Healthy Start Pack. I recommend you go online to criticalhealthnews.com to purchase these products. That's criticalhealthnews.com or call 855-949-RADIO.
Mike Stenerson for Midas Resources. At no time in history have precious metals been more important, certainly not in my 22 years in the industry. The dollar has lost over 90% of its value in the last 60 years. No fiat currency has ever survived the government printing presses. Ours is not immune. The time is now to be proactive. 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. Anything tied to the dollar is at risk. CDs, annuities, 401ks, IRAs, stocks, bonds, you name it, so decide. Do you want to leave a legacy of wealth or debt for your family? The choice is yours. Call me at 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. That's 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. Be proactive, not reactive. Call 1-800-686-2237, extension 116.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. bidbit.co.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Great minds think alike. The network for the independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network. GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got lines open for you. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you've been left on hold in the past, now's your chance. 844-236-6010 is our number. We're talking ketogenic diet, the calming the body down diet. This is so important to understand if you're dealing with a health challenge. If you're dealing with a health challenge, whatever it may be, it's not a medical issue. Unless it's a trauma of some kind, unless it's some kind of mechanical trauma, you get hit by a car or whatever, it's not a medical issue. It's a chemical issue, a biochemical issue, and that means we have control. I'm reading here on a website, online journal that I get called The Dermatologist, an article, monoclonal antibody reduces itch in patients with eczema. Now they want to give you monoclonal antibodies that cost you $500 a dose for your eczema. Why? Because your immune system is freaked out. So I give you a drug that suppresses your immune system. Immune system is your defense system. When the defense system is up and running and freaked out and alerted and in defensive posture, we get eczema. We get psoriasis. We get autoimmune diseases. We get all the chronic degenerative diseases that we talk about on this program all the time. So what's the answer? Calm the body down. The best way to calm the body down is by controlling what you eat or by reducing what you eat. The ketogenic diet is a diet that focuses on protein, fats, at the expense of carbohydrates. The ketogenic diet is the real anti-aging diet. It's the real anti-cancer diet, pro-health diet, pro-youth diet, strength diet. The ketogenic, and you can call it the bright side diet. That's what I think of it as the diet we talk about here on the bright side all the time, the ketogenic diet. As little processed and grain-based carbohydrates as you can use. And by the way, carbohydrates, as we said yesterday, are important. But they need to be veggie carbohydrates. With veggie carbohydrates, you get your phytonutrients, your plant nutrients, you get wonderful vitamins and minerals, and you get fiber. Fiber that supports the production of those salutary, health-providing, short-chain fatty acids that we've been talking about for so long now. The ketogenic diet is not the paleo diet. The paleo diet, which has been kind of co-opted by food processors and food manufacturers. The paleo diet, theoretically anyway, is the Paleolithic diet, meaning the Stone Age diet. It's a diet that's theoretically, at least, our Stone Age ancestors subsisted on. We don't have that anymore. That's not going to happen. So if you hear somebody talking about the paleo diet or writing a book about the paleo diet or doing magazines or doing anything to get people's attention about the paleo diet, it's really kind of a misnomer. The paleo diet is basically, as it's supposed to be, is basically the ketogenic diet. These days, however, the paleo diet includes raisin nut clusters and fruit salad and hot dogs and sausages. I don't think our caveman ancestors ate hot dogs and sausages. The ketogenic diet, on the other hand, has been around since the days of Hippocrates, 5th century BC. I think of the ketogenic diet as a short-chain fatty acid, a short-chain diet, short-chain fatty acid diet. Ketone production, or what they call ketogenesis, the production of ketones, is largely the result of short-chain fatty acids, short fats, and it has a very important relationship not only to health and anti-aging and fighting cancer, but it also has benefits for how we think, mental health benefits. If you're dealing with anxiety issues, depression issues, brain fog issues, think ketogenic diet. A lot of the benefits associated with fasting, and there's all kinds of benefits associated with fasting. Intermittent fasting, periodic fasting, once a week or once every couple of weeks. The benefits of fasting are the result of the ketones that are produced in response to not eating. By far and away, the most well-known benefit of the ketogenic diet, of ketone production, of fasting, is associated with seizure disorders. And this is an important link that, as I said, has been recognized since the days of Hippocrates. It's even mentioned in the Bible. In the book of Mark, we're told of a child who's brought to Jesus, and Jesus recommends prayer and fasting as a healing regimen. Prayer, by the way, that's another great strategy. I'm not talking about begging prayer, but focusing on spirituality, focusing on higher consciousness, focusing on God, if you like the term. I'm not talking about begging, I'm talking about focusing, being thankful. That's how prayer should be. It's about thanking and being focusing and paying attention to the divine force, not necessarily begging the divine force. The relationship between short-chain fatty acids like butyric acid or butyrate and the brain and mental health represent a classic mechanism of the link between the intestines and the brain. Short-chain fatty acids are the bridge between the intestines and the brain. They're the mechanism, short-chain fatty acids and the production of ketones are the mechanism for the power and the health benefits associated with what's called the gut-brain axis. And And the ketogenic diet and short-chain fatty acids are also why you're going to be missing out if you're using a butter substitute. Butter is one of the best dietary sources. In fact, it may be the best dietary source of short-chain fatty acids. And if you're doing, I can't believe it's not butter or whatever the latest butter substitute is, you're going to be missing out on this stuff. And then you're also going to be dealing with all the poisons that are in these fake butter spreads, they call them. Metal catalysts and processing chemicals and trans fats. Eat your butter, and always mix your butter with Celtic sea salt. And if you're worried about the cholesterol content of butter, consider this. Short-chain fatty acids that come from butter and butter itself have a suppressant effect on the production of cholesterol. Butter is the best statin drug there is, and it's non-toxic, and it's delicious. Eating butter has a heart protective effect. Eating butter has a cholesterol-lowering effect. Butter is a tasty, non-toxic, inexpensive, healthy, natural statin drug. And you don't need to go to the doctor to get it. You don't need to have Obamacare and wait in line at the drugstore and fill out insurance forms to get it. One of the most incredible short fats, short-chain fatty acids, is so short and so water-soluble, you don't even think of it as a fat. I love this stuff. I've been talking about it for years on this program. Never said it was a short-chain fatty acid. It's called vinegar. Apple cider vinegar especially. Do you know vinegar is acetic acid, and acetic acid is a short-chain fatty acid? How do you like that? This is one of the major reasons why people feel better when they start using apple cider vinegar. And we've been talking about it for years on this program. I can't tell you how many people have written to me or called me and told me how much better they feel when they do some apple cider vinegar after meals or even in the middle of the day. Apple cider vinegar is a good source of a low pH acid substance that helps you digest your food if you're dealing with deficiencies in stomach acid, and many people are. Apple cider vinegar is a wonderful source of minerals, especially potassium, which is so hard to find, balances out sodium. And now we know that apple cider vinegar is a short-chain fatty acid. That's right. Acetic acid is a short-chain fatty acid, and all the benefits that you get from butter, all the benefits that you get from ketone production, all the benefits that you get from SCFA, short-chain fatty acids in general, you're going to get from vinegar. Vinegar, acetic acid, as a short-chain fatty acid, improves brain health, improves sugar metabolism, improves digestive health, makes you feel better, helps you with your digestive system. It can be used for energy, and this accounts for a lot of the health benefits associated with apple cider vinegar. Short-chain fatty acids are water-soluble fats. This is so interesting, and this is one of the reasons why they're so fantastic. They're like a cross between water solubility, a water-soluble substance, and a fat-soluble substance. So you get all the benefits associated with fats, but you get them in a very easy-to-process fashion. That is so important because fats, while they're very, very critical for health, are hard for the body to process. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We will be back right after this.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Are you hungry for delicious, nutritious, rich, and satisfying home-cooked meals? Discover the Vita Clay 4-in-1 Smart Organic Cooker. Unglazed Zisha Clay, an ancient secret that makes this fast multi-cooker so special. Infusing your food with incredible flavors, perfect texture, vitamins, and minerals for your good health. It's a slow cooker, rice cooker, a steamer, plus a yogurt maker. Go to VitaClayChef.com and enter promo code RADIO20 for 20% off at checkout. That's VitaClayChef.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufactured manufacturers. If you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
The freeze-dry guy, leader in the preparedness industry for 44 years, is closing his California warehouse. Don't miss out on this huge warehouse sale and receive discounts from 30 to 40% off on the finest Mountain House and Packaway brand freeze-dried and dehydrated foods for long-term food storage or even everyday use. Plus deep discounts on all in-stock survival gear. The Freeze-Dry Guy is offering a wide selection of freeze-dried foods in number 10 cans and even individually packaged entrees. Remember, meats, vegetables, fruits, and long-range patrol rations are the main components for any long-term food storage. This is limited to stock on hand, so hurry and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, as always, free shipping to the lower 48 states. So hurry up and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, this is limited to stock on hand. The Freeze-Dry Guy is your choice for survival food in an uncertain world.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you're interested in purchasing any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com, or you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. And so you got a bunch of lines open for you. Got letters here I want to get to as well. I'll take a first phone call here. Kelly in South Carolina, what's going on? Welcome to the Bright Side.
Ben, good morning.
Kelly, going once.
I'm so enjoying
Kelly,
what you're talking about.
Hi, Kelly. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Hey, I'm really enjoying what you're talking about, the ketogenic lifestyle, as I like to call it, or ketogenic.
Are you familiar with it? Were you familiar with it before?
I'm on it.
Oh,
and
nice.
I wanted to kind of give you a little testimony about how just spot on you are with everything, especially the past couple of months of your show. It's just been kind of leading people down this path. It's the right path.
I appreciate
that. 100%. And I know this from my personal experience because I had HAD,
You had Autoimmune disease?
I had an autoimmune disease. They diagnosed me with RA and then some other crap. And
I love how you said that. You said that past tense. That's awesome. That's powerful, Kelly. Most people will tell you they have something. You said that you had it. In other words, it's over. Correct?
Yeah, I keep
Good for
hearing
you.
people call your show, and it's just they get caught in this mind trap of they're I don't know. It's a mind trap.
It is a mind trap.
The medical situation, it's a mind trap, and you got to step outside of it, and you got to strip your diet down to nothing, which I did. And then the first thing I did was address it. I went grain-free, and I kind of went into the Paleolithic, paleo diet stuff. But what I discovered through doing that was that there's way too much sugar in the paleo diet. They're just not going that extra step. And sugar equals, when you have an autoimmune deficiency or an autoimmune illness of any type, the sugar in the gut, it creates a lot of issues because it creates acid, and it also creates candida, which is a yeast overgrowth, because when you have autoimmune illness, you're very susceptible to a yeast overgrowth in the body, which that causes all the psoriasis, because I had major psoriasis and scalp psoriasis and lots of food allergies, and I started just getting into eating lots of bone broth from pastured chickens. Nice. And then the butter that you're talking about is really what I wanted to address. And I know there's a lot of people out there, because I know I am. I'm lactose intolerant. But here was the deal. If you eat ghee, which is the butter oil, then you're a lot. I mean, with ghee, you're getting all three fatty acids. You're getting short, medium, and long chain.
Right.
When you eat the ghee, you're not getting any of the lactose, and you're getting the absorption of your A, D, E, and K, which is just everything. And then it's got all the CLAs in it, and it's got
that's
all
awesome,
the antioxidants. And I'm just telling people from my own standpoint, because I hear you talking, and I know they're hearing you, but very few people call in and say, "Hey, this is what's going on. He's telling you the right deal. Follow this deal, get with the program on it, and you're going to fix it," because I cannot tell you how much better I feel.
Kelly, you're saving lives here. If anybody's listening to you and paying attention, you are saving lives, Kelly. Thank you so much for doing it.
Because when you have autoimmune, you think that you're going crazy because you have so many symptoms, and really it's one issue, and you got to get to the root of the issue. It's not. You don't have 10 illnesses. You have one illness, one root cause. And
you're awesome, Kelly.
I've been through all the crap and the ups and downs and all the whole thing, and it's been a really long 5 years for me. And since I did the ketogenic and went the extra mile and took out all the sugars and started just depending on a lot of leafy greens, and really, like the guy yesterday was talking about the root vegetables, which I thought was awesome, talking about anything that grows below ground.
Right.
That really meant something, too, because of the sugars involved with root veggies.
Yes.
So I just wanted to just
That's awesome, Kelly. Are you a healthcare professional or anything? How did you know all this stuff?
No, I'm a chef. I called you before about sprouting, and that I was eating I was doing sprouting, and I talked to you. I don't know. It's been probably a month ago, but
what kind of chef are you? What's your specialty?
I've always been really organic, farm to table, so I've kind of had an understanding about sustainability and trying to eat grass-fed and wild game and all the different things. So it was a natural progression for me. I know a lot of people out there don't cook every day, so they don't have the same food knowledge that I've had. But when I started listening to people like you and started listening to what was going on through nutrition being the medicine, it changed my life, and dumping the grain out of my life was the best thing I've ever done.
That is so cool, Cal. Let me ask you one last thing, and then I'll let you go. Why do you suppose people who have these kinds of illnesses, like an autoimmune illness or, God forbid, cancer, or even something as seemingly benign as a skin problem, why is there so much resistance to doing exactly what you're saying? I mean, I can see I'm on the radio, and maybe they think that I'm just some kind of highfalutin chemist, but people like you who have these real-life testimonies, it seems like if I had an autoimmune disease, I'd be paying attention to every single word you're saying, Kelly. Why do you suppose there's so much resistance?
It's a fear thing, because we're inundated with media. You're inundated with, if you watch television, which I have cut mine off completely, you see these food commercials. You get these happy little dancing bears with this food, and they say, "Hi, great fiber," and all this. And people get caught up on this. And the next commercial after they have the little dancing bears selling you the cookie, then they've got a pharmaceutical commercial telling you that, with all the millions of side effects. And these companies own each other. Once people realize that,
they own each other.
Right, and look at the two longest lines. The longest lines in the world are the Girl Scout cookie thing right now, and the pharmaceutical line. Right. There's no line at the health food. There's no line in the organic section.
Right.
And that should tell you something. If everybody's in line for cookies and ice cream and all this crap and processed food, and the aisles in the grocery store are crowded, but the organic section isn't, but the pharmaceutical area's got a line down the street to get your pills, it ought to tell you something, and nobody's getting well. And I kept asking myself, why are all these people doing this? But everyone's taking all these pills, and it's the busiest place in town. Go to the CVS, and it's the most hopping place. It's like the singles bar. You can go in there, and it's like it's unbelievable, but nobody's getting well. Everybody's getting sicker, and they're laughing in their faces. It's ridiculous.
Yes, they're laughing in our faces. Kelly, you hit the nail on the head. They're laughing in our faces. The CEOs of the drug companies are laughing in our faces, and we're still lining up.
Monsanto sits on the board, crap. All these people, they're all each other products, so they make money getting you sick, and they make money once you get sick. And then they don't care if you live or die. You're the one that's got to care if you live or die. You're the one that needs to care about your quality of life. And your
kids and your families. That's exactly right.
And the doctors are taught, the doctors get out of high school, they start going to pre-med, go to college, go to pre-med, get into med, and they don't understand that the government, all these people have set up the curriculum that they teach these doctors. And these doctors aren't bad people, but they're really idiots because they're not taught anything. And then you get the dietitians who are taught the food pyramid, which should be turned upside down. It's not even correct.
Well,
and
here's the...
I can't... You know,
Kelly, you're letting the doctors off the hook, and I know a lot of docs, and some of them are my friends, and they're nice people, but it's hard not to blame them. You know, they're participating.
No, I do blame them. Ultimately, you're responsible for your own stupidity. I mean, we're all responsible for our own mistakes. I think doctors, as much money and time as they make, instead of sitting, celebrating their wealth and celebrating that, maybe they should look into the fact and ask themselves like I did, why isn't anyone getting well? I mean, it doesn't take a genius to say, why is everyone still getting sicker and sicker, and why are people addicted to all these medications? And I watch people on all these meds, and they don't feel well. Plus, they're not curing it. Treatment is not cure.
Isn't that amazing? Kelly, that best phone call of my entire 5-year career on the bright side. Thank you so much. God bless you. You go out and spread the word.
You're an inspiration, bud.
Awesome, Kelly. Thank you so much. Go out and spread the word, my dear. Thank you so much. I appreciate the call. Take care. That was awesome, you guys. That was absolutely awesome. You think I'm kidding you when I do this every day? That you can reverse your degenerative diseases with simple little strategies and you don't need the medical model?
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
It's no secret that government and big business buy in bulk and get huge discounts not available to the little guy. Until now. Introducing a breakthrough crowd buying website where people can join together, buy in bulk, and get massive discounts on millions of popular products. It's TogetherSave.com. TogetherSave.com. You can save 20, 30, or even 50% off tablets, smartphones, cars, appliances, textbooks, sports equipment, video games, and much more. All with free delivery. Check it out. TogetherSave.com. Visit now and start group buying today at TogetherSave.com.
By now, you heard about Bitcoins, but did you know that over 65,000 businesses accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co, because at bidbit.co, you can receive Bitcoin by selling your personal items or business products. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products quickly, easily, and securely at bidbit.co. That's bidbit.co. bidbit.co.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey Guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. goberkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at goberkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. goberkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Not just an alternative to the mainstream media. We're the premier independent talk radio network. We are GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. That was an awesome, awesome phone call. You know, when I talk about all these ideas and these concepts, I know sometimes people thinking, well, he's just a pharmacist. He's not really sick. He doesn't really have these things. And then when I get a call like that from Kelly, that was so cool, man. That's a woman who's just cured herself. She doesn't have an autoimmune disease anymore. And you guys, that's what's possible. The human body is a healing system. Nobody has to suffer. Nobody has to suffer with a chronic degenerative disease, and the medical model cannot help you. They cannot help you. Once we figure this thing out, there's going to be a lot of unemployed physicians. There's going to be a lot of unemployed doctors who are going to have to produce and make something happen and do something for real in the culture. Now, we got lines open for you, 844-236-6010, but I want to get to some letters that I've been getting, and I get a lot of letters. I try to answer as many as I can. By the way, if you send me a letter, please put your phone number so I can get back to you by phone, because it's a lot easier for me to call you than it is to write. This is a letter from Tom. He says, I've been listening to the show for a while. Good stuff. I was bitten by ticks when I was 17 years old. I'm now 53. I did some antibiotics for 2 years or so, about 2 years ago. It helped. And then I did an herbal protocol for healing Lyme. And then he mentions a bunch of herbs. And he says he still may have Lyme disease. He's using BTT, an ultimate glucogel. And then he says he's challenged by insomnia despite melatonin. Listen, Tom, and everybody listening to this program now, Tom, your problem is not the ticks that bit you 40 years ago or 35 years ago. That's done. The problem is your body is freaked out. Your body's stressed. It's not your cellular EMF fields either. It's something you're doing to your body every day on a regular basis. By the way, Tom says he also has joint issues. Basically, Tom's body's falling apart. And he's not alone. This is really the only disease there is my body is falling apart disease. I tell this as a joke, and people laugh when I say this in my talks. We think we have 12,800 different diseases. We don't. We got one disease. It's called my body is falling apart disease. That's the only disease there is. Our bodies are falling apart. And because our bodies are all generic, we all have the same bodies. We all have a heart, we all got lungs, we all got spleens, we all got livers. It's all plumbed the same way. It's all connected the same way. The food runs through the body the same way. The electrical energy runs through the body the same way. We all have the same bodies. Our bodies break down the same way, and our bodies heal the same way. So if you're dealing with a health challenge like Tom is, don't blame the ticks from 35 years ago. That was 35 years ago. It's what we're doing today and yesterday and tomorrow, what we're doing on a regular basis. And you can't just take the BTT and glucogel and whey protein and grass-fed butter and then expect to recover. We got to figure out what is burdening our body. What kind of stresses are in the system? And it's really very simple because the main source of chronic stress is the foods we're eating. Now, certainly I'm not marginalizing psychological issues, spiritual issues, mental issues, emotional issues. They all play a part. And we got to be spiritually correct, mentally correct, and emotionally correct. And that's not airy-fairy. Our spiritual nature is our connection to the divine force. When we feel disconnected, this is where fear comes in. When we feel connected, this is where we are reassured. That's the role for prayer. That's the role for religions if they have a role. That's the role for spiritual strategies, is to feel connected to the divine force. We're all one here. It's called the unified field. We're all connected. But we're encouraged to feel disconnected, and through the illusion of our neurology, it looks like things are disconnected. So we have to restore ourselves back to our connection with the divine force, God, whatever you want to call it. Then we have to be mentally correct. We've got to be thinking correct thoughts and feeling correct feelings, and our thoughts and feelings are two sides of the same coin. Every time you have a thought, you have a feeling. Every time you have a feeling, you have a thought. They're linked. And every time you have a thought/feeling, biochemistry changes. There's a whole field of science called psychoneuroimmunology. You can go get peer-reviewed journals with scientific studies and controlled experiments, all on the connection between the mind and the immune system, between the mind, or the psychology, and our neurology, psychoneuroimmunology. So working with our thoughts and working with our feelings is important. This is why meditation is so important. Sitting still, quieting your mind, or at least watching your mind. And then there's the physical strategies, and there's not a lot of them. Food is the most important. That's the most important burden on the body. And we are encouraged to eat crap by people who make money off us eating crap. And as Kelly wisely pointed out, it's not a coincidence that the drug companies and the food companies are owned by the same multinational corporations. They profit on us by feeding us poison, and they profit on us by the pharmacological remedies, poison remedies for more poison. They're not our friends. And every time we eat a Snickers bar, or every time we eat Doritos, or every time we drive through Taco Bell, we're feeding our enemies. We're supporting our enemies. They are the enemy. Yes, the New World Order is a problem, but we're participating every time we drive through Taco Bell. And I'm not a food Nazi here, you guys. I eat pizza. If I'm hungry, I'll go grab a slice of pizza or whatever. That's not the point. The point isn't that we're bad people or good people if we eat these kinds of foods. The point is that if you're dealing with a chronic degenerative disease, if you're miserable, and I know it's miserable, as a healthcare professional, I'm witness to the misery. The worst is when it happens to a baby or when it happens to a child. I got a letter here from somebody who sent me another letter. It says, here's the deal. Thank you for telling me about all the longevity supplements. I have to find the right combination. I think it's helping, but I just don't notice it. Well, if it's helping, you're going to notice it. Anyway, this is what this gal says. She's got a baby. He will be 3 years old on April 5th. He has Epstein's anomaly. It's a heart condition of the tricuspid valve that lets non-oxygenated blood flow backwards. He also had surgery at 3 weeks for a coarctation narrowing of the aorta in his heart. Listen, you guys, this is just medical mumbo jumbo. The fact is, it's as if this kid's body is falling apart. It says here he's got asthma. This is a 3-year-old baby, okay? He's got asthma, which is triggered into severe mode when he gets sick. Of course it is, because his body is burdened. We notice it gets worse when he has an ear infection. So now he gets ear infections too. We have to use more meds to keep him breathing. We have him on an inhaled steroid for his breathing. What does a steroid do? It shuts down the immune system. This is a poor 3-year-old kid with a congenital heart issue that is now being bombarded with surgeries and medical strategies and drugs. Here's what you need to do. You need to focus on the kid's digestive system. Now, you're not going to fix a congenital structural issue necessarily, but you sure are going to reduce the burden on this poor kid's body. Look for digestive problems. If this was my patient, I would be saying, what's going on in this kid's digestive system? Does this sound ridiculous that I'm talking about the digestive system for a kid who's got all of these problems? I hope it doesn't, because it's so important. This is a kid that should be focused, or his parents should be focusing on digestive health, looking for food intolerances, focusing on the bowel movements and on gas and on bloating, eliminating any foods that induce any of these kinds of problems. Folks, this is how simple health is. If to the day I die, I'm going to be standing on top of every rooftop I could find and screaming, we don't have to be sick. We don't have to have chronic degenerative diseases, and this medical model that we have deified and we think is some spectacular pro-humanity life-saving system is killing us. I'm not talking about trauma. I'm not talking about emergencies. I'm talking about long-term chronic breakdown diseases. But it doesn't matter because we can do it all ourselves. Get yourself on a good nutritional supplement program. Get yourself on the longevity products. Use the Healthy Start Pack. Get on the ketogenic diet. Reduce the amount of calories and reduce the amount of work that your digestive system has to do. Reduce the amount of work that your liver has to do processing toxins and poisons. And I guarantee you, with 100% certainty, I guarantee you, not because necessarily it's scientific or it's in the literature, it's been shown to in research to work, although that's true, I'm guaranteeing you, because I've seen it not hundreds of times but thousands of times over the last 18 years. What Kelly spoke about on the phone call, reversing autoimmune disease, eliminating autoimmune diseases, curing. She cured herself of an autoimmune disease by eating butter, by following the ketogenic diet, by changing her digestive strategies. And that's how simple it can be. It's the triangle, folks. You got your food, you got your blood sugar, and you got your adrenal thyroid complex. Control the way you eat. Eating less food, using liquids, using soups, going ketogenic. Control your blood sugar. Stabilize your blood sugar with the chromium, the vanadium, and the sweeties, and B vitamins, and magnesium, and taurine, and arginine, and all the other blood sugar stabilizing nutrients. Restrict your intake of processed carbohydrates and sugars, and calm the body down with deep breathing and meditation and yoga and relaxation and hot tubs and massages and all the things you could do to calm the body down. That's how simple and that's how easy health can be. Thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Check out my website, brightsideben.com, and on my blog, pharmacistben.com as well. We'll be back at you tomorrow with more good health information on the bright side. Have a wonderful, awesome, spectacular day. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Bye for now.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit, then carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Attention listeners, SurvivalLife.com is giving away free EverStrike permanent matches for a limited time only. These matches are waterproof and will light in any weather condition, rain, snow, or sleet. It will still throw a spark. Its built-in ferro rod strikes at 3,000 degrees, and it is good for 15,000 strikes. Normally, $15. Today, it's free. Get yours at freesurvivalmatch.com. That's freesurvivalmatch.com. Hurry, supplies are limited. Visit freesurvivalmatch.com today.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates, 1-800-425-4610.